Good morning everybody. I hope you're really well. Welcome back to a brand new video. I'm so sorry I have got my retainer in right now, which might be a little bit unpleasant for this short moment, but I just need to have it in for a couple of hours because I couldn't find it in the house move. And then now I found it, I put it in and it's quite tight, so I'm like, I need some retainer time. But I thought I would start the video right now regardless because the house is a mess. The house is an actual mess. There's just bits and bobs everywhere. There's dirty plates and the dishwasher needs doing and just all of that kind of normal house stuff. I've just done the nursery run, so I thought right now let's together crack on with a bit of a house reset. Is upon us. I'm going to give you guys a house tour. Now there are a few things I want to note before I begin. One is that this is no way a finished product in the sense that there are a few bits and bobs you'll see that are suffering from damp or just general issues that a house of this age would be dealing with that we are getting quotes for currently. Like I have one of the local builders coming on Monday who I already know and I'm friends with as the family. Actually his daughter goes to the nursery with my daughter, so it's very cute. But yeah, I trust him implicitly and he's coming on Monday to do some proper quotes for me because there are some quite large issues. Ones we already knew about because they came up in the building survey, but if we had tried to negotiate on price because of them, we would have lost this house because the people selling this house to us needed to reach this amount to move on, if you get what I mean. And we loved this house too much to let it go. And also in general, the price we paid for this house, we still felt was fair. So we already knew that there was going to be a few bits and bobs. But because the old owners had renovated this house, we almost forgot when we moved in that we were going to come across these issues and kind of got caught up in the honeymoon period of this house because it is so beautiful, which you're about to see. But then very quickly, as I've gone around and put things on the walls, and which I'm allowed to do now, put things on the walls and unpacked and things like that, I've then thought, oh, this is totally concode because it is riddled with damp and we need to get it sorted ASAP, way before autumn. So it's kind of been a quick reality check and it's all being sorted, but I'll show you that as and when it pops up. So let me start with the entrance hall here. So this is a 150-year-old Victorian home, and we absolutely love it. It's crazy because it's not the style of home that we thought we wanted. It just worked for us as soon as we came round. They do say that it's just a feeling you get for a house. It's the same with like a person or the one, like you kind of just all of a sudden just feel something inside. Personally, I'm big on energy, and I think it's an energy match. I think this house for me just had the right energy that I was looking for, and I take that so much more literally than, you know, words on a paper. Features of a house, for me it's the feeling. So yeah, it's a Victorian home, and it has lots of the key Victorian features such as high ceilings. Victorians loved grand proportions. For example, Victorian homes loved a grand ceiling height. They tend to be over 9 foot. It was only partly because they liked that style. It was actually to keep the rooms cooler. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I mean, I'm boiling hot right now. One of the things I have done in the hallway is I always seem to do a hat wall. I'm not sure why I always have an attraction to this kind of addition, but obviously first and foremost it tidily displays your hat collection for when you want to grab in the autumn or the winter or the summer or the spring. Obviously I've got my two kind of summer ones up there, and then I've got my cowboy hats down here. And then here I've got more kind of winter fedora. The felt is very much windproof. But also I just think it looks beautiful, and I also think it reminds you of what hats you have got rather than stuffing them in a wardrobe somewhere. I also just love a dual purpose. So by doing this, in my opinion, not only are you putting your hats out obviously so you can use them, but you're also using them as a feature of decor. Another big feature about Victorian homes is that they often have ceiling roses and cornicing. I think that's how you pronounce it. In Victorian era, because the ceilings were so high, they often loved to style the ceilings with a grand chandelier, and actually the ceiling rose was just simply there to hide the wires, which makes complete sense when you say it. I mentioned earlier in this video maybe, or maybe it was the video before, that I have added a jute rope banister as well as the normal banister. I've always wanted one, and I think they look absolutely stunning, but also in my mind great for my toddler. It's almost like a pretty toddler banister because she can reach it therefore perfectly. But I'm not adding something like unattractive for me to look at just for the convenience of my little one. So that's the hallway and staircase. So now we are in the playroom. This was formerly a dining room for the old owners, but truthfully, like, we've had a dining room in a previous house and you only use it 3-4 times a year, and my priority every single day of my life is Etta's comfort and happiness, and anything I can do to make her have the most fun day ever I will always do. So therefore for me, making one of the biggest rooms of the house into her play area, away from a screen, so there's no TV in this side of the room, away from the kitchen as well, because you'll see in a minute there's a space inside the kitchen that I could have done as her play area, and I was going to, but I just wanted to be able to fit everything in perfectly. And I also want this to be a place where she does like her homework when she gets home from school, when she starts school, which of course she's a few years off, but I just really wanted it to be a special, magical, beautiful place that she can really just settle in and chill and play, and doesn't feel like I've kind of stuffed everything into one corner of one room. It actually feels like there's space for everything. The girl has a lot of toys. She's taken ownership of it so quickly, and that's just so special. It just shows how much she cherishes it. Some decorative things that I have done is these scallop shelves. Are actually called wave shelves. They're from Next. I absolutely love them, so much so that I've got them in my bathroom upstairs as well, which I'll show you in a bit. I've styled them up a little bit, although I'm going to change this because I did all of the Tony's here for the figurines for the Tony box, but actually obviously she can't reach them, and I wanted to keep using her Tony box because it's really lovely and healthy, and obviously once again it's screen free, so I really rate the Tony box. But yeah, so this is just a bit of styling. I'm going to change this up seasonally, so the books will change into like Christmas books and things like that. And then here I've got these from Vinted, actually a lady who makes them and then sells them on Vinted. Hot air balloons, kind of 3D coming out the wall, I just thought were absolutely beautiful. And then I've got 2 prints here, and I love these so much because they're little quotes from songs like I adore you, ooh, I adore you. A song from Fred Again. Actually, fun fact, actually what Etta was born to, like my baby was born to Fred Again. I'm sorry, but that's just like iconic to me, like she was born an icon. And then this one is This Will Be an Everlasting Love. obviously an amazing song, but it's on The Parent Trap, which is one of my favourite movies, and so I just had to get that printed. But in general, I just think they're really beautiful, beautiful prints, and then the frames I think are just B&M bargains. Then on this side here, I ordered these 2 huge mirrors a couple houses ago. I was going to put one upstairs, but to be honest with you, they are a pain in the butt to get up the stairs because they're that big. So I thought they were actually great here, as long as I've got stuff in front of them so that they don't fall and they're attached to the wall properly, which they are. Then I thought, well, why not? It makes the space look twice as big, and they're obviously a beautiful feature. And I've got these kind of educational prints from Etsy. One of them is the alphabet, the other one is counting, and one is the solar system. And these frames, I can't tell you how obsessed I am over them. I don't think I've ever been so obsessed with a photo frame. They are from HomeSense. And then I've got another shelf here just with some books, and then the Mayleg doll's house fits perfectly in where the fireplace of this room used to be. I then have this olive tree which I got from Amazon, and I really love it. I love olive trees so much, but I have a love-hate relationship with faux plants, but this one really looks lovely, I think. And then coming through here, which is another typical feature of Victorian homes, to have the double reception room. So this is obviously the living room space, and like I said, in my opinion, it works perfectly. The fact that the playroom comes off of the living room, it means that it's a separate space, but also if I wanted to put on a Disney movie for her, I can do. So we've got our brand new sofas, which you would have seen in the previous video. This is actually a love seat, and then we've got another love seat here, which Whiskey is lovingly showing you. And then we've got the big sofa here, and Whiskey and Riley portraits, which I love. And just over here we have Etta's rocking horse, which has never really found its place. I mentioned this a couple of videos ago that this is such a beautiful heirloom piece, and we really wanted to find a space for it. Right now it's not meant to be a blanket stand, but I have just put the blankets there for the time being. But yeah, I'm so glad that it's found its little place. Ideally, I would like to have the Christmas tree in this window when the time comes, but I therefore don't know where I would put this, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Then interestingly, this is our log basket, but obviously we don't need logs right now because it is boiling hot, so we don't need to make a fire. But we will use it in the winter, and it has got loads of random stuff in the log basket that I still need to find places for, that I've kind of just chucked in there for the time being. But I just thought it was quite interesting how you can repurpose something, even if just for a season. I've had this piece of wood that's basically waste. I just thought, oh my gosh, I know what's going to fit on there perfectly, and this piece of wood honestly is the perfect fit for that kind of back part of the log basket to use as a bit of a coffee table. And I just think it looks really, really cute. Absolutely love repurposing items and making use of them in different ways. So I just thought this was a really fun thing to mention. Possibly my favourite part of this house when we came to look around is the original floorboards. Like the fact that these have had generations and families walking over them just makes me so happy. This is also one of my favourite things, is this all the way up the staircase. What do you think of my artwork? Obviously we've got King of Cool here, always Steve McQueen, and then we've got Monaco Grand Prix. Then we come into the kitchen. Now this is going to be renovated in 2 different phases. So the initial is just having the countertops replaced, and I'm not going to spend a lot of money on that. I'm going to do the bare minimum there to lighten it up a little bit. I'm also going to remove the tiles. I'm going to repaint this. Now, kitchen I want to be a light space. Here's the log burner that's in the kitchen diner, and actually ignore this please because I haven't styled that up at all yet. I have been doing some styling up I'm actually really proud of. I think it looks really, really pretty. I love that it's all green and brown tones. Really sadly though, one of my beautiful stars that's actually a Christmas decoration has smashed, but I refuse to let that be the end, so I'm trying to Gorilla Glue it back together, which clearly has worked because now it's actually stuck to the tissue, but you can still see the cracks. So I'm going to try and find a way to make that perfect again, but to be honest with you, it just brings it more character. But yeah, I just love these so much, and I'm definitely never one to bin something so beautiful. Then up here we have added these dusk lights. They are just drill onto the wall, and then you take the light bulb out and you charge it. I always think if you add different fabrics and textures, it completely changes the feel of a room. Over here, much like on the other side of the oven, it's just kind of neutral tones. I love this. I got it from Vinted. I think if you read that every day, your gratitude cup will be full. And then I've got some more cookbooks here. Sadly, my Roberts radio has decided to pack in, so I need to figure out how to get that fixed. But yeah, it's just really not waking up. Then over here, I don't know if you remember, but I got this ages ago from At Home with the Ruds in Broadway, and I think it's perfect here. It's just kind of got some of the household products in, and then down here I've got the main stuff that I use all the time on this gorgeous marble Lazy Susan I got from Home Sense a while ago. Then here, there used to be a blind here, but I've just got this cafe curtain from Amazon. I think it was about £20, and I think it looks lovely. I didn't know if it would just be a temporary addition and then I would get something nicer, but actually I think it looks lovely. I hope it's translating on camera, but I really like it. On this side as well, I've been styling up, which I think looks really beautiful. If I do say so myself, I definitely don't mean to sound cocky saying that kind of thing. It's more so because I've been picturing it in my head for so long, like years before I even saw this house. I've been picturing having all of my best stuff on show all together, matching perfectly. Like, I've envisioned it for so long, so to see it all come together the way it has, it makes me so emotional. This section here is kind of the dining area. This is only a 4-person table, and I think we could fit a 6-person. This dining table and chairs, the old owners left because I specifically said that I loved this marble dining table. One thing I've just been doing this morning is these fairy lights. I've kind of done them across the ceiling like this. For me, it just feels like you're in a restaurant or you're looking at the star. One of my favourite restaurants in London, which is called Megan's, it's a chain. I feel like they always have so many fairy lights, and it just makes me feel like giddy, like a kid. I'm like a fairy light addict. I will always have so many rooms covered with fairy lights. I can't help myself. I absolutely love them. They make me feel so happy inside. So yeah, that's the fairy light corner. Then coming to the downstairs loo, and I'm only showing you this because I think the downstairs loo is something that you can easily just cast off as not necessary to put effort in. But actually, I think that because it's such a small space, you could make it have the most personality and get away with it. This pot, however, you'll have to ignore because this one, for some reason, won't screw in there the way this one will. So just ignore that because that was meant to look a lot nicer. But the mirror here is one of the items that the old owners left on request. I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous and fit this space perfectly. I've added this piece of antique artwork. And then I love here that there is one wall of wallpaper. I think this is the William Morris wallpaper, which everyone's obsessed with. Star tiling kind of follows into the loo as well. I just think that downstairs loo is done perfectly. I will show you the garden in another video. I need to tidy it up. I need to make it into something really special. It's beautiful already, but even the lawn, for example, is completely dead. This is my little utility room. It's only diddy, but it's a utility room, and that's a luxury in itself, and I'm very grateful for it. This room is definitely more Maef's space, and actually it's very dark in here, so I don't know what the camera's going to do. Oh, actually no, it adjusts quite nicely. This is Maef's den. This is a man cave, I believe is what they call it. So it's very dark down here. It's a beautiful dark brown paint. We came to view this house. I remember saying, like, if for one reason or not we get this house, can you let me know the paint colour? I think it's the most beautiful. It's like a dark chocolate brown. But even the wall lights here, I love. Maef is a big football fan, so I got these prints done for his birthday. I don't know if you'll remember. We then have these wine shelves that we're going to put up. Then I've just added this lovely clover mirror, which I got from Donnell ages ago. And then I got these teeny tiny little shelves from a reclamation yard, and I've added these jars on top of them. I just thought it was a lovely. I love this area over here, just a driftwood log and shelf situation that I got from a carpenter on Etsy. These like green lamps, I mean, they're just so old school, aren't they? I love them. This room's funny, what we're going into now. So originally I had Etta in another bedroom, but then it kind of dawned on me that part of the reason why bedtime can be difficult, which it isn't always, in fact it rarely is, she's such a good girl, but when it is, a lot of the time it's because of distractions. So for example now, like, her favourite thing in the world is dressing up in like her pink frilly clothes that are very ballerina-esque, to the point where she'll say etta ballerina before bed and want to get dressed like a ballerina, which is adorable and so cute and something I will never want to end. And I know that there's only a short amount of time that it'll be like that, but sleep is the priority. So I've actually given her the smallest room because A, because she's got the playroom downstairs for all of her toys, but B, because I've made her a wardrobe in the cupboard, and I'll show you what I've done there because I think it was a really good use of space. But I've decided to basically make her bedroom, like it's the bed, it's a room with a bed, it's the bedroom, do you know what I mean? So that there is no association with anything other than reading a nice book and going to bed. But this is one of the rooms that the walls have had damp in and really needs some attention. So we've got the damp people coming on Friday and then our builders coming on Monday, so it'll all be sorted soon, but nevertheless you'll see what I mean now. So you see here the wall has literally gone in. I put this sticker on, obviously with absolutely no force, and it just, can you see that? It just went in, gave up. So quite scary because I can literally put my hand down there. I mean, I'm not going to, but quite weird. But yeah, this is Etta's room basically. So this is the artwork that I need to put up, but I've obviously stopped myself because of that wall issue. This is her beautiful Posy and Pen bed, which isn't perfectly made and straight right now because we come in here and kind of read a book, even though she's not sleeping in here right now because she's sleeping with me because of the wall issue. I also got these wall lamps from HomeSense, which I cannot wait to put up. Once again, they're just the ones that you charge, but just trying to create little spaces. So like here we've got her little strawberry mirror that I got from a shop in Stowe that a lovely lady hand painted with a little bow on it, which I also got from a shop in Stowe on the Wold. Her clock, which actually isn't working currently, so that's from Etsy. And then I've done these hooks here with just some of her headbands on. The wall goes in here. I've just done some of her little handbags, and then here 2 little shelves, and I've really tried to keep this as a vintage cottage styling situation. Her portrait that was done at her first Christmas, and she wasn't standing up, she wasn't able to stand back then. She was still just a little baby, but nevertheless it was a portrait that was done complimentary at the hotel we were staying at for Christmas. They literally were just doing them as a nice thing to do for all of the kids, which is really sweet and I cherish it. This is a print that my mum got for me when I was younger because I have always loved ballet myself. The E I got from a reclamation yard. To silhouette I got when she was a baby as well. The first Easter gift I got for Etta. And then interestingly, because these are like a rattan shelf, I had these drawer knobs that I have nowhere to put them, but I love them, so I've just decided to push them into the rattan and have them as basically a little accessory for the shelf, which I personally think looks really, really, really cute. I honestly just keep lullabies on in this room all the time because this is her like dozy room right now. I've got these stickers from Etsy. They're the nursery wall stickers, which I really adore. I am also going to do paneling and other things in this room to make it really, really cozy and beautiful. I have just completely put this on pause now because of that wall issue. This room is the spare room and has really had no styling at all. Also got damp, which I'll show you. Colour by the discoloration here. So this is one of the major jobs. This is the cupboard on this floor that I've actually made into Etta's wardrobe. That rail, and then I've put this in the bottom, which I already had, and I've added another rail along here, so it all fits in perfectly. I think it looks more chaotic than it actually is, and like I said, I like the fact that it's separate from her bedroom. Now we are entering into the master bedroom. So as you can see, the master bedroom is a navy blue, like the kitchen is. But exactly as I explained downstairs, in this room it is utter perfection. It is so cozy and rich and warm, and I just honestly would never in a million years dream of changing the paint in this room. I think it's beautiful and just so cool. I think it's very Soho House, very kind of gentleman's club. I just love it. And I didn't know if my bed, with it being that beige linen, would look good in here or not, but I think it actually looks really cool. We have then added antler wall light. The old owners had wall lights here before, but they took them with them. So we added the antler wall lights and the antler chandelier to match, which you can see here, which I haven't turned on just yet. And then you'll remember me telling you how I got this copper bath, which was a lifelong dream. So that's obviously there in situ, ready to be hooked up. And it shouldn't be difficult because this is an ensuite, so there's literally, I don't know, 6 foot from water pipes already. So it shouldn't be too hard, it's just getting it organised, and obviously it's going to be a cost there to get it hooked up, and also buy the beautiful taps, because I want to make sure I do the bath justice and get the right taps that will suit it beautifully. So I can't wait for this to be hooked up. I think it is such a dream to have this kind of thing at the end of your bed like you're in a hotel. And actually someone said on my previous video, your bedroom looks like a boutique hotel, and there is not a bigger compliment to me. Like, that is just everything, every goal met. Then potentially my favourite room in the whole house is the ensuite to the master, and it's purely because of this marble, which I think is called Viola marble. My favourite thing ever, and as soon as I looked around this house and I saw that it was in this ensuite, I was like, oh, how can you walk away from that? I've then added these shelves from Next. You saw the larger version downstairs in Etta's playroom, but I've added the smaller ones up here, and I think they look perfection. I think they look like they were meant to be in this room, just to have all beauty products on show. And then here we have the shower, which I'm so happy to say Etta is in her shower era. She just loves going in here, and she takes ages and ages, and she won't come out, and it's just the cutest thing ever. It makes it even more special in here. The only thing I don't like about this room, this ensuite feels so luxurious, but I think these cheapen it. But I have these beautiful handles that I want putting there instead. But yeah, it's getting a contractor over to sort it. Oh, I really want them in literally now. But yeah, I need to get those put on, because I think, in my opinion, that will elevate this room even more than it already is. Now this is hilarious, because I've shown you the house and I've shown you its beauty and its features and how I've tried to make it as close to perfect as I can in the short time that we've been here. And then there's this room. So this arguably is the coolest room. My husband and I, something I've never really talked about before, but we don't really, and maybe I shouldn't talk about at all, but I'm gonna. We don't really spend the entire night in bed together, because he has sleep apnea. He has a really, really aggressive snoring situation, and to the point where it actually sounds like he's suffocating. So it's a real issue. I keep pushing him to get it sorted, but obviously you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So ultimately it's up to him to get it sorted, but he has a real issue. Not only is the snoring really loud and disruptive to my sleep, but actually the sound of him clearly not being able to breathe properly is actually very distressing. So just the whole package of it. So that's just the way that is. Obviously we love to snuggle and get in bed together and catch up and chat and maybe watch something together and have that downtime. But in terms of actual going into a deep sleep, one of us needs to go into the other room. So one of the main reasons why we love this house is because this is kind of secondary primary. So perfect for him and I's situation. So this room is cool because you see how my room is kind of a navy blue. This is a dark mossy green paint. Once again, such rich colours throughout this house. The difference between girl unpacking and boy unpacking is this. If you look up anxiety in a dictionary, this is what will be there. Anyway, it's gonna look amazing. That concludes the house tour. The jobs that are going to be done is the kitchen improvements that I've mentioned, like the paint, the worktops. Then we're gonna look at doing an actual kitchen extension, crystal doors and glass and lots of natural light. And then in the garden, there is that shed that we wanna convert. So there's a lot of different projects that we're going to do in this house, which I cannot wait for, cannot physically wait for. So lots and lots to come, but that is the house as is today. I hope you've enjoyed having a look around. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. It means the absolute world to me, and I really hope to see you guys in future videos. But for now, I'll say goodbye, and I hope you have a gorgeous rest of your evening and beautiful new week, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye!